Hello, and welcome to my fourth video in which I will be discussing the importance of tuning. Lesson objectives will include how to tune a baritone, the importance of tuning, baritone maintenance, and what the slides of the baritone do. Tuning is important for all players of any instrument. This is because instruments will not sound correct if it's not in tune. You can still play an out-of-tune instrument, but it's just not as good sounding. Playing an out-of-tune instrument doesn't hurt the instrument, it merely hurts the ears of the listener. There are plenty of easy ways to tune an instrument, many of them having to do with slide positions. However, if you are skilled enough and capable enough to tell when you are out of tune, you can do it by changing your mouth positions. However, this is very difficult and unnecessary if you just change your slides, so slide tuning is what we will focus on. Trying to change the sound of your instrument with your mouth positions is also difficult on your mouth muscles. This means that you might have to shorten a practice session, or your lips will wear out easier because you tried to change the tune of your instrument with your mouth. The baritone has a main tuning slide, which can be used to change its pitch. The farther out the slide is pulled, the lower the pitch is. For example, the sound of a note when this slide is all the way up is higher in pitch than the sound of a note when the slide is pulled down. The changing of the slide position changes the pitch of all notes played. One way to tune a baritone is to use a piano. Because the baritone is in B flat, when it plays a C, that C would be a B flat on the piano. Because of this, by playing a B flat on the piano and matching its sound to the C on the baritone, by matching its pitch by moving the main tuning slide, you can figure out how a baritone should sound. This is to say, if you play a B flat on the piano and you play a C on the baritone, and they don't sound correct, as in the sounds aren't identical pitch-wise, move the slide of the baritone until the pitch is the same for both instruments. Because the slides of the baritone are so important for making it sound good, they need to be taken care of. Slides need to be greased regularly, at least once a month, with a slippery concoction known as slide grease. Slide grease is fairly cheap and can be purchased at any instrument seller, as a variety of brass instruments use it. These instruments include the baritone, the euphonium, the trumpet, the trombone, any instrument with slides. Along with greasing the slides of your instrument, you have to oil the valves of the instrument. This is another part of regular instrument maintenance. The valves, the buttons that change the pitch, unscrew from the cylinders that they're in and can be oiled regularly. These need to be oiled again once a month, perhaps more depending on how much you practice. And if you don't oil your valves, they'll stick down like this when you really want them to come up. It's the same as if you press the valves to the sides with flat fingers instead of using the tips of your fingers for pressing them down. If you don't grease your slides, they won't come out, and you won't be able to tune your instrument. Then, whenever your instrument isn't in tune, it'll just have to stay in tune. Or you'll have to pay someone to get the valve out, or slide out. It would just be easier to grease your slides. Now that the content of the video is finished, I'll be giving a small assessment on what has been learned. As always, you can answer this assessment in the comments of the video and leave any questions you might have, and I will get back to you and answer your questions and critique what you have written as an answer for the assessment. Now, the 3 questions are as follows. Where is valve oil sold? What does the main tuning slide do? What key is the baritone in? Thank you for watching this video, and please stay tuned for the next one. The next video's learning objectives will be learning tips from longtime brass players, learning the answers to frequently asked questions by brass players, and learning what good resources you could use if you can't find the answer to a question. For example, good online resources or fellow YouTubers that might be able to provide answers to questions that even I can't answer. However, I have studied brass instruments for many years and should be able to answer most questions, So don't be afraid to ask even difficult questions that you can come up with in the comments. Thank you for watching!